Welcome folks, welcome to a very exciting video because I can't even fathom that we live in this timeline. We live in this timeline. We're talking about a major change in the history of the world. We have now Premodern on MTGO, and I cannot even begin to understand just how important this is going to be for the format, because it's going to be like an entire paradigm shift. Now the amount of games that are going to be played are going to like go up. I don't know if exponentially, but they're going to go up significantly. And the amount of eyeballs that are going to be put on the format and the amount of just data that is going to be able to be gathered, it's crazy. So this is a major game changer. And yeah, we're gonna try out a league on Magic Online. For my first foray into this brand new world, I kind of wanted to keep it simple. I wanted to try out another time of playing the Rock. I have been very excited about this deck. If you watch my previous video, you may know about that. And I wanted to try out some changes that I think are going to help the archetype considerably. If you watch the previous one again, I don't want to go spend too much time on the deck tech, because like the main thing that I think is game changer for this deck is the addition of Ravenous Rats to the main deck. Also think adding Phyrexian Furnace to the main deck is a really big deal. Whether it's Phyrexian Furnace or if you want to add some copies of Wither Wretch to the main deck, sure, do that instead. I recommend playing some extra black sources though, because right now I have 15/15, which, by the way, somebody mentioned in my previous video, which was like a month ago at this point. Pine Barrens is basically the same thing as Grand Coliseum for this deck, but it has Rebecca Gay art. And yeah, look at this piece of art right here. Absolutely stunning. Nothing else was changed for the deck except for the sideboard, where I added 2 copies of Hypnotic Spectre. The thought process here is that I was trying to find a tool against specifically Parallax Tide, and we all know how hard it is for this kind of deck, be it like Dead Gael, be it just like mid-range decks in general. Hypnotic Spectre seemed to me like the most reasonable way to attack it. The reason is that they cannot Parallax Tide combo you with just 1 card in hand, and Hypnotic Spectre is the best way to ensure that they just have 1 card in hand. Obviously, if you're playing against a Dreadnought, they can like gush into Tithe plus Stifle, or like Tithe plus Chain or whatever. That can happen. But Hypnotic Spectre seems like the best way to do what we're trying to do. And at least, obviously, against Dreadnought, it can work or it cannot, because they can just, pivot and just race you out of nowhere. But against a deck like Mono Blue Tide, I expect something like Hypnotic Spectre to be quite strong at doing that. Preventing Tide from happening straight up, or making it so Tide happening doesn't matter as much. Though that's obviously harder to achieve when they have Chain of Vapor and stuff. But again, it's a losing battle. Like, this kind of archetype has a losing battle against Tide, and I feel like Hypnotic Spectre is one of the few tools that we have access to that can actually help us pull ahead. The other thing is the addition of Wither Wretch. I think I actually had this in my previous list, so maybe I'm making a mistake here, but regardless, Wither Wretch in the sideboard is pretty good. So yeah, this is what we're going to be playing in this very first Premodern League, so very stoked to try it out, and I'll see you there. Alright, here we go with the first match of this league, this official league. I think I'm going to keep this hand. It's a little bit clunky, but I do like that we have good clean mana, and we have the best card in the deck. So my opponent is on 6, turn 1 Polluted Delta. That's a very good draw. It's just something to put on the board. They discarded land. That's fine. We're kind of playing a low resource game, so my opponent basically wasting a land there seems pretty good for us. That's a very nice pickup. I kind of want to spend this turn. I mean, I can just play out Pernicious Deed. No, I think I want to spend this turn attacking with the Treetop Village, and then next turn I can go Therapy into Pernicious Deed. Gives my opponent 1 free turn to do something like, I don't know, Counterspell or whatever, but okay, so they just cycle. Like, I meant like cast an impulse, cantrip. I mean cantrip, not counterspell. But yeah, that sounds pretty good for us. So now I guess we go land, we're going to attack first. We seem to be playing against Psychotog. So let's swing first. Then I'm gonna play my land and Therapy. I'm gonna name Counterspell with this one. They have 2 counterspells. Well, that's game over. Wait, this is new. Alright, so get Counterspell. My opponent has an AK. Yeah, that's fine. Take both counterspells. They have AK Deep Analysis, that's fine. We're gonna drop a Deed. Opponent's probably gonna cantrip. AK looking for Spike, I guess. But I think that's fine. I could have flashed back there. Oh my god, that's so aggressive. Really? They're setting themselves super behind now. I'm gonna foil here? Wow, so aggressive. Discarding Deep Analysis is not bad though. I guess I should have flashbacked, naming some Infestation. My opponent's not interested in doing that. Very interesting. Okay, so I guess I'm going to lead on Cabal Therapy. We're gonna name Zombie Infestation with this one. They have another counterspell, Smother. So I guess we're just going to swing here, flashback rats, flashback therapy, I mean, sacrificing rats, and then we're gonna drop a Bailoff. So there we name counterspell, and then next turn we're gonna swing for 7. Oh, they didn't have a counterspell mana up. I'm silly. Opponent just packs it in. Kind of an aggressive concession, but sure. So we're playing against Psychotog. Smother is good. Wretch is good too. And I like Hypnotic Spectre and I like Call of the Herd. All of these cards look great. So this is awkward because obviously Vendetta sucks, but besides that, then I mean the reason kind of like why I don't really like Psychotog as a deck as much is that it's in the awkward spot where they are a control deck that actually cares about removal, which is not a tough spot for them to be in. But what do I want to do here? I think I want to cut some Bailoffs. They're like clunky and they don't really give me that much of an advantage. I'd rather just have Call of the Herd, which I can use to, like, you just have a cheaper cards, right? This is also a 2-for-1. I think I'm just going to cut all Bailoffs actually. Nightmare seems unnecessary. I guess it's kind of a fine end game. We can probably cut Prometheus Deal, 1 copy. This card's very good though. I guess I'm gonna cut Diabolic Edict. We have what, 2 Smothers, 3 Deeds as answers to Psychotog. But I did see some Infestation main deck right there. Just kind of, I mean, we have Wither Wretch is kind of an answer as well. Hypnotic Spectre is nice too. Could cut Deranged Hermit. Cut a Hermit for a Bailoff. Bailoff sounds very clunky to me, so I think I'm just gonna keep the Hermit. Maybe Recurrent Nightmare is the unnecessary card here, but I do have some pretty good combos with the Nightmare, so let's go with this. This hand is outstanding, I should say. Turn 1 Duress, turn 2 Cabal Therapy, into Phyrexian Furnace. Kind of an outrageous hand. Opponent choosing to shuffle, notably. Let's see what they're cooking up. Duress, oh yeah, we're definitely taking this Duress here. That's clean, that's very clean. They don't have the Black Source, but we're still going to be doing this anyway. I think I want to lead on a Cabal Therapy because my opponent needs to counterspell it because I know that they have counterspell. So this is basically a forced play. And now I can, I guess actually, let's go for Furnace and start digging into that graveyard. 2 islands into Powder Keg. Sure, that's a nice one. So play my land. We know they have Diabolic Edict, so I guess I might as well do this here. They have AK. Very nice. So we're gonna take the AK, leave them with a Diabolic Edict, which doesn't really do too much, and then send the turn back. Now they can get the Powder Keg, but we're simply just never gonna tap out. It's not a bad one at all. But I think I'm just gonna keep hitting my land drops and just not really do anything here. Opponent just pops. Forced my hand. If they drew exactly AK right there, they get some value, but I think that's fine. So now we have Therapy and we're going to get to drop a second Phyrexian Furnace, which is great for me. If we find the Black Source, we can also drop a Hypnotic Spectre, which would be quite exciting, not gonna lie. Once again, opponent shuffles. Without any information, I think I'm just going to Therapy here, naming Diabolic Edict. I think I need to draw my card. We have Sligh. Wow, that's a card, I guess. I guess now I don't actually want to play the rat, because then my opponent just gets to discard Sligh for free. Play my land, we play the rat. I put them in foil here if they want. Discard island, very interesting. So still holding on to the foil, which I'm just gonna flashback and name foil. So this kind of looks like GG's here, right? Now that we have Hypnotic Spectre on the board, opponent's only card is Sligh and their board is just 4 basic islands. Doing pretty well. Underground River. Okay, so this Sligh is just getting discarded, but I don't think it matters because I want to spend. That's actually an interesting one to draw. Do I want to just drop a Hermit here? I kind of want to just drop a Hermit and just put on the clock. My opponent gets their Sligh back, but that's fine. We still have Hypnotic Spectre in play. Notably, my opponent cannot have Infest, which is, I think, the only card that saves them from what's about to happen. Definitely paying for Echo. I guess it's not really a definitely. There is a world where I just don't pay for Echo and I just keep my silly squirrels. Okay, they drew smaller. That's a good draw. Very excited that I paid for Echo now. It feels like my opponent's best draw is Psychotog, and even still, it's not enough because they're also dead on board. I guess it would have been needed to be Gush into Psychotog or something like that. But there you go. Quick 2 over the Tog deck. I suspect Tog. We didn't see any Togs. Maybe it was something else. But anyway, round number 2 against one of the M bosses, Fed. Fed is an extremely good player from Argentina. Do I keep this hand? Fed usually likes blue decks. This hand is kind of medium. I want like targeted discard against blue. I think I'm gonna ship it. I think this is better. And I'm gonna bot on this Deranged Hermit on 1 Pine Barrens. So nice. This Dreadnought. So I guess I need to therapy right now. I'm going to name Phyrexian Dreadnought. Because otherwise I just kind of lose. So they are playing Dreadnought because there's this Vision Charm there. No second land notably. So this opt needs to do work. He bottomed, but he did find the land. And he did find the Dreadnought. So his 2 draws were Island Dreadnought. Alright. I mean, the rest is not bad. That's a nice one to start with. So we can take the Gush if he doesn't Gush here. And now he actually doesn't have counter magic. Take the Gush, play Wall of Blossoms, and we're very much looking for a removal spell for this Phyrexian Dreadnought. This one's not fast enough. This one doesn't. I guess we can draw land, actually. The main phase taps for AK. Okay, so we're gonna take 12. And I'm gonna hope I draw an untap land. Flashback Therapy, name foil. Okay, that works. So Cabal Therapy, flashback. I'm gonna name foil. And we lose to exactly days. And he has exactly days. But I think it's more likely that if he finds... It's more likely for him to find any island, in which case the foil is online, than for him to find exactly days. But yeah, I mean, he drew a real, just incredible. Yeah, he's not gonna mess it up. He's just gonna daze here, and then we don't have the mana to crack this Pernicious Seed. So on to game 2 we go. This is very much a tie match. So let's bring in the Hypnotic Specters, Naturalizes, Smother. Vendetta's gonna come out. Do I care about Recurring Nightmare? I think I want Call over Balos, just a cheaper threat. Question is whether I want the Range Hermit. I think I do. Pernicious Steed, I can cut a couple. It's the least efficient. Oh, never mind. Oh, actually, I think I kind of want Furnace. Or do I want... I think I actually want Wretch better. Because this actually is not bad as a way to hit my opponent's graveyard, which matters because it affects their card advantage. Like being able to snipe a Flash of Insight or like an Accumulated Knowledge is kind of a big deal. So I think I like this. Alright. This looks good. Okay. Yeah, I think I can work with this. Not super excited about Pine Barrens coming into play tapped, but which land would this be otherwise, right? It's kind of what you should be asking yourself. At least this allows me to cast my spells. Gives me the colored mana that I need. If this were like a Reflecting Pool here, for example, I cannot keep this hand, right? Also, this art is so sick. It goes to 6. Would love to see... I guess Duress is my best draw here. If I draw Naturalize, I'm going to spend this turn to play Rats instead of Cabal Therapy. What I like about this hand in particular is that this hand actually closes the game quickly. So he's going to have not that much time to assemble a way to kill me. I think I should not play around Dreadnought as much as I should play around Tithe. He chooses to shuffle. Hypnotic Spectre. Do I rat or therapy? I think I rat. I think I rat here. Again, I think I'm in a situation where I'm not supposed to try to play around Dreadnought. I'm more supposed to play around Tithe, which means that I'm more excited about trying to slow roll this Cabal Therapy. And here I'm going to play Call of the Herd, because I really want to find like a... Okay, that's fine. That's a totally fine exchange for me. I really want to find the black source so I can use this Cabal Therapy to break through. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to go Cabal Therapy. I think I named Gush here. Oh, he counterspells. Very interesting. I guess it kind of makes sense. It also means that he doesn't Flash of Insight this turn, which is notable. But I was going to name Counterspell anyway, so it was a good Cabal Therapy. But this is kind of what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to put as much pressure on his hand as possible. So now, even if he has the Tithe combo, he cannot really do much, right? So now he can't even Tithe. So I'm not scared about Tithe any longer. So now I am going to name Counterspell, but on the upcoming turn. Maybe this is wrong, but I'm not playing around Dreadnought here. He has no piece of the combo, and it's pretty unlikely for him to have drawn both. And now my idea is to, not the most awful pickup to be honest. So we're going to swing with both. We know two of his cards are islands. I'm just going to flash back here. Actually, what if I spend this turn to cast Graveborn Muse? I'm not going to play around third Counterspell. It's very unlikely that he has it. So at that point, I'm not scared of Tithe, because he doesn't have enough mana. I think I'd rather put a Muse into play actually. Although this runs into days, I suspect he cut daces though. So Muse resolves, chains. Okay, that's fine. Basic Island. That doesn't really do anything here. But now I am gonna name Parallax Tithe though. So Ball Therapy, Flashback, name Parallax Tithe. Okay, it's got foil, bunch of stuff. His hand is pretty amazing. We are going to play this Muse though. So if he wants to foil, he needs to like Island Gush. I think he's just gonna flashback Flash of Insight. This Wither Wretch would have been better before. Yeah, so there we go. So he's gonna take all my lands, and then he's gonna combo with Stifle here. So I'm happy that I went for the Graveborn Muse. I think drawing some cards, getting some land drops. Excited about this for sure. If he does have Dreadnought here, we're gonna be in quite a bit of trouble, or we're gonna be 2 cards ahead. Also, if he uses Stifle to Tithe, then that means he doesn't have Stifle to Dreadnought, right? Gushes, we know he has Foil, he has AK, and a passing of the turn. Graveborn Muse, okay, swing with the boys, and there's actually a lethal threat right here, so he's gonna have to foil this one, counterspell, whatever. Main face AK, let's see if he finds it. He finds it. Okay, we know he has Island, Foil, so we need like discard into removal here, which is quite a bit to ask. Okay, so let's play Wall of Blossoms. This means I don't die. Wow, that duress is very interesting. I think I cast now. This plays into days, but if he foils, he needs to like discard the island. Amazing. So how many foils has he used so far? 1 foil and 3 counter spells. 1 foil and 3 counter spells. We take 7. So I guess I do need to take the foil, and I guess I need to chump block with the Graveborn Muse, which leaves me only 1 draw step next turn to find an answer, and he gets 3 draw steps towards finding something. Yep, okay, that's the game plan. He drew so well, but I mean that's kind of what the Dreadnought deck does, right? Send this Island Gush unknown. So if I block like this, take 7, and then I just get raised by my own Muse. So I think actually I block like this, leaving the rats back for therapy purposes, I guess. He gushes now. Why? You can only have Chain of Vapor, right? And then he just sack a land and bounce his own Dreadnought. So I don't think... I wonder what he was looking for there. That is not an answer. And I think we don't have outs. Yep, of course. Of course, that was one card too far. All right, we got Dreadnoughted. But that was a pretty good match. I enjoyed that quite a bit. On to the third round. Am I feeling lucky on the play? Probably not. Sand kind of slaps, but gonna be a coward. This one, without knowing what I'm playing against, I don't think I can afford. Maybe if we're playing against goblins or something like that, this hand is defensible, but this is the best we've seen so far. So keep this one. Bottom Vendetta, bottom Edict, and I'm going to go Swamp Go here. Opponent kept 7, could be anything. Should have led on basic Forest. Now I realize. Carplucent Forest. I think I just passed the turn here. Could have named Naturalize, but this could be red-green Ponza. Could be Goblins. It is Ponza. Okay, just got Thermokarsted. I'm going to now name Winter's Grasp. Sylvan Library, Naturalize, Pyroclasm, Second Wasteland. That is probably the worst possible thing we could have seen. That's a second answer and a way to get ahead with Sylvan Library. Second answer to my pain sources, and an answer to the Pernicious Deed too. So my opponent kind of has everything covered right there. I still need to, I mean, we're not playing into Oath. I need to play this out. At least, I guess we're not playing into Oath, because I can just Flashback Cabal Therapy. Opponent correctly pays 8. Second Mox Diamond. Interesting. Why would you do that? Okay. So their hand is Naturalized Pyroclasm. Don't understand the playing out the second Mox Diamond part of it. Everything else makes sense, but that little bit I did not like too much. Also, my opponent should have paid 8 again. It's a very nice draw. Oh, oops. I'm an idiot. I messed that up. I meant to Flashback Cabal Therapy. Oh, that's so annoying. I think that yeah, I really threw that away. I really messed that one up. I actually think that we had a shot at winning this game, especially with my opponent making the mistake of not paying at least 4 in the previous turn. That would have given us a lot more time. I mean, I'm just going to keep playing out my lands. There's nothing else I can really do here. That's 3 land destruction spells that we have gone through that make that 4. I mean, as long as we keep drawing lands and my opponent continues not paying life with library, if at any point we make it to 3 mana and we drop this Pernicious Deed, we kind of turn this game around. Play a fetch land. Is this another LD spell? Yeah, that's brutal. Yeah, we're in rough shape now. That is 5. So they're missing 3 land destruction spells. There's the Oath, which is kind of annoying because it actually enables my opponent's clock here. Because now I'm forced to therapy, naming Pyroclasm, and now we cannot play this Wall of Blossoms. Opponent drops a Terrorboar and swings. I mean, I'm gonna take this Oath trigger. Best thing I can draw is, I guess, Yavimaya Elder, and then draw land. Gravemore Muse. This allows me to trade with the Treetop, and then we can potentially smother the Terrorboar. Yeah, at this point I'm just too far behind, I think. Oh, actually they can't attack, because there are 2. Yeah, alright. Okay. Wow. Are we doing this? Is this happening? Wasteland sucks a little bit there, not gonna lie. I guess I need to smother now. Otherwise, my opponent swings for 12, actually 13, and then I'm going to be forced to chump. The nice thing here is that I can force the trade, so I don't give my opponent another Oath trigger, which is nice. Okay, force the trade, play my basic swamp, send a turn. Opponent still has 1 wasteland, so also this is my only green source. Opponent kind of needs to end the game here. No spheres so far, by the way. Sphere would be pretty problematic. Opponent's desperate. Looks like they're library locked. Okay, don't know when they go. Let's see what we draw. Another Llanowar Wastes. Here's my Pernicious Deed. Is it good enough? Please don't find the second Naturalize. Please don't have it. Okay, they found the land. That's okay. A land destroyer, I meant, not a land. So we take 3 here. I think we just pass the turn. And then we blow up on my opponent's end step. Opponent can't attack with Treetop unless they naturalize or attempt to naturalize the deed. Wow, heck of a game. Can we actually come back? If I find the green source, I get to drop a 4/4 too. Force my opponent to chump. Yeah, 2 is enough. So now we're gonna nice pickup. So now play rats first. Let's see what they discard. A Boar. Wow, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Play Wall of Blossom so the treetop cannot actually attack. This game is hilarious. This game is absolutely hilarious. What are the chances they have Pyroclasm? Bailoff is better against Pyroclasm. Sorry, yeah, that's right. The Range Hermit. My opponent says only you could find a way to win this game. Thank you, opponent. Very kind of you. I already went through one Pyroclasm. It needs to be exactly the top card of their deck. And I guess even if it is, they have to cast it immediately. Alright, I'll take the bait. I'll take the risk. Because it can get problematic. I actually need to end this game. Wow. That was a heck of a game. Amazing. I enjoyed that a lot. Alright, Wither the Wretch. Naturalizes for sure. I guess Tranquil Domains as well. Too smaller or not too smaller? I don't think we care about Recurring Nightmare. I mean, honestly, this is the card that kind of won this game, right? The Muse. Flipping a Muse off of the Oath was like that just turned the game on its head. Because now all of a sudden my opponent can't even attack with their Terravor. I think they should have. I think they needed to be they needed to get risky, and if I have a removal spell, they lose because I just I just attack and then my opponent activates treetop to block and I just blow it up. But they have led to like I guess Pernicious Deed and a bunch of other things. But I think they need to just take the gamble because it's not really getting any better. Okay, but back to sideboarding. Great game. So we want all of our lands. We're on the draw. I think we still want the discard spells. We could cut like one duress. Don't think we care about Spectre. Don't think we care about Call. We may care about Smother. But we already need to cut 4 cards. What are those cards? I don't even know. Maybe Tranquil Domain. One of them. Just have like basically 7 naturalizes. I think I'm gonna cut the Hermits actually. They look pretty bad into Oath. And then I guess 1 rat on the draw. Yeah, I guess I keep this. It has my best card in the matchup, which is my Elder. If I ever get to cast the my Elder, we probably win. It's a lot of rats. Definitely want to dodge some discard spell action. Ugh. Okay, so this is actually a very interesting spot. I could take Mox Diamond, leaving my opponent in a spot where they only have a single land. So if I take Mox Diamond here, I cannot get Winter's Grasp. The issue is, of course, that, I mean, this Mox doesn't do anything unless my opponent does draw a land. I guess I can draw Cabal Therapy. Yeah, I guess I can draw Therapy, so I'm going to take the Mox. This is specifically because they have exactly 2 Winter's Grasp. Had they had something different, like one of each, I would have done something, a different line. I would have taken a different line. Here, I think I play the Rats, actually. Force them to make the choice. Probably gonna discard the Pyroclasm. And now this turn, they're probably gonna Winter's Grasp one of my lands. And now I do rest the other Winter's Grasp. Blossoms. Can't really play that one this turn, unfortunately. Ugh. Port is very annoying, but it is what it is. On the plus side, they don't really have the time. They drew Oath. Gross. That's literally their best draw there, which is extremely unfortunate for me. But yeah, I'm just gonna force them to discard the other board because otherwise they're just gonna race me super quickly. Wish I had been able to play Wall of Blossoms there, but unfortunately, opponent's gonna start getting some Oath triggers now. That was a nasty Oath of Druid off the top. We did find the land, which is nice, but do we attack? I guess I don't, because it protects my life total from Factory. On the other hand, it means... yeah, I think my life total matters here, actually. So we will chill. We have draws here. We have draws. We're not dead in the water. They're gonna get an Oath of Druids trigger. There's the Terravor. Only a 3/3. Creepy Mold. It's not one you see every day. Here they take a Creepy Mold. They get a second Terravor here, which is not something I'm excited about seeing. Earthquake. Good to know about that one. Man, multiple Creepy Molds. Okay. Gonna double chomp. And we are certainly gonna take the Oath trigger. I don't know what we can flip here that helps me stabilize. Man, that one is almost enough. I guess it's nowhere close to enough. My opponent has like a gazillion manlands over there. Yeah, let's just go to the next game. Man, that Oath off the top. that was a lot. Okay, so I think I want the extra Smother over the Rat. I do like Blossoms better than Rats because Blossoms work really well against Manlands in Call of the Herd, which my opponent should probably have in their deck right now. Guess I'm going with this. I don't like the Bailots at all, to be honest. Okay, skip this. Turn 1 Barons go. This is kind of like to incentivize like a Wasteland. Or to turn 1 Library. Not bad. Not bad. So let's try to go for this. At least this Furnace keeps my opponent's threats at bay. Opponent only paying 4. Don't think I love that right now. Thermocars. Okay. Yeah, that sounds reasonable, I guess. As the turn, another removal spell doesn't suck here. And now if my opponent goes for Oath, we have a way to sack the Oath. As the turn, we're going to exile our Pine Barrens, untap. Opponent does that. Going to Cabal Therapy, naming. They use Thermocars, so we're going to name Winter's Grasp. Have a Boar. Okay, so they have Mox, Carplucent Forest. Send the turn back. We're at Foothills. Fine draw. They get a free shuffle. Instead, we activate. So here, we're just playing a slow game. So don't think I'm supposed to do anything. It's gonna play out another Swamp, activate Furnace, and send the turn back. Opponent doesn't pay. It's a Factory, which is okay. I'm gonna continue taking it slow here. Really gotta find the Natural Ice or Tranquil Domain here. Guess that one also counts. Still have perfect information, so here's that one. We'll see if they brought in their discard spells. They should most definitely pay. Yeah, they should pay as much as they can here. Nature's Factory gets in there. Okay. Actually, not really excited about giving my opponent another library activation. So I think we're gonna pop here. Furnace, sack, see what we draw. We're gonna pop this for 2, and then we're gonna rat. Which means my opponent's gonna discard the Smokes Time and doesn't really do anything, but opponent did not port me. I mean, I don't think it really matters, but not in this case. Another Oath of Druids. So we know nothing of my opponent's hand. Maybe I got a little hasty there. Opponent taps my land. Now we get to swing. My opponent has lost 1 Terrorvore so far, so I'm just going to let my opponent have an Oath trigger. They flip. If the Terrorvore becomes too large, we can see how we manage. Library is a very good draw for them. Take 2 here. Another land. Not the best, not the worst. Opponent did not pay though. So now we're in an awkward spot where my opponent, I don't know if they can just attack willy-nilly, because I chomp and then we kind of find ourselves in a similar spot that we did before, right? Where this Oath trigger may actually benefit me potentially. We'll see. I think I do take the trigger. Also, if I find something like the Range Hermit, it's kind of a big deal. Okay. Wall of Blossoms. Not extremely exciting if I'm being honest. Phyrexian Furnace. Play another land. I guess we cannot really make this Terrorvore that much smaller. I'm just gonna pass the turn. We can soak up quite a bit of damage. We block again. Take 3 here. Maybe I should have cycled, actually. Could have taken 1 less damage. Yeah, this Furnace is just not really doing anything else, really. I should have cycled last turn. Would have taken 1 less damage there. Now we find Graveborn Muse. Okay, it's a card. That's definitely a card. Wow, is that a card? So now if my opponent attacks, they attack with everything. I get to blow up the Oath on end step and kill the Terrorvore with Smother on the attack step. Earthquake for 3. Okay. Does this kill me? I think this kills me. This kills me exactly. Oh, they run out of forests. That's funny. So I smother a Vendetta and I die exactly. Very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate that's the case. Oh no, actually, I can naturalize the Mishra's Factory. Okay, okay. Okay, we're survive at 2. What do we draw? Ravenous Bailoff. I can play it out just to gain life. Yep, I'm just gonna pass the turn. It's kind of awkward because now my opponent can like tap 2 of my green sources, so they can put me in a spot where I need to take damage to play this Ravenous Bailoff. Oh, they just drew the boar. Okay, so now I guess I have to flip. Now I just have to flip like wall into something, into removal spell. Oh my god, this kills the Terrorvore straight up. Oh my god, can I do both? I have 7 mana? That's insane. So I kill the Terrorvore, I need to chomp block the Treetop Village. And I'm losing to Pyroclasm, which I guess my opponent still has in their deck, notably. This is the third terrible. They still have one terrible left, which is very unfortunate for me. But unfortunately, I cannot play this Ravenous Bailiff out, because then I'm in a spot where my opponent may actually be able to, like, they just get out a second Terravor, which may be bigger than the 11 mana that I have currently in play. So this is super awkward. I have to pass the turn and use this Withered Wretch to chomp block the Treetop Village. This has been pretty amazing. This has been a great game. Great match overall. Put this guy in front of that, and then we start exiling stuff. There's also the possibility to leave the Terravor a 1/1. Take one. Oh no, I lose. Never mind. Doesn't work. So that's all the lands. Dust Bowl is in my graveyard, unfortunately. Could really use a Dust Bowl right now. Can exile 2 more cards. I think from my opponent's graveyard, I guess. Guess I might as well leave 2 random cards. So many creepy molds. Card does not seem great to me. So this Bailiff allows me to buy 1 more turn, and notably Deranged Hermit wins me the game here. So if I find Deranged Hermit, we actually win, which would be insane. Oh, my opponent's tapping my green. Oh, brutal. So now I cannot play Bailiff now. Oh, come on. Oh my god. What a match. What a match. Just lose with the game 4 on the stack. Great match. I enjoy that quite a bit. Yeah, there was one turn where I said I could have played the Bailiff. That would have left me in a spot where I'm like 4 higher life, but I'm just like playing the Bailiff to sacrifice it immediately, just so do not give my opponent the Oath trigger. And at that point, it's kind of awkward because I don't actually have a win. I'm still looking for a way to win the game, so my thought was I can find a Naturalize or a Deed, blow up the Oath, and then I have a Bailiff that's standing. But obviously my opponent having access to like library, their selection was much better than mine. That was a lot of fun though. Great match. See you for the next one. Welcome to the 4th round. This hand looks outstanding. Great hand. Pretty smooth. I mean, the Spine Barrens is like kind of embarrassing, but at the same time it does exactly what I want it to do, so can't really be too upset. Oh, this deck again, huh? Well, this hand is a little bit better than the previous one, so we're gonna do Oath of Druids, take it here. And then my opponent probably goes turn 1 Mox, pitch something into Rishadan Port, and then we can therapy both Thermokarsts. Could be pretty strong. Pitching Port. Interesting. Into Sphere. Okay. So here's the Cabal Therapy. It's gonna name Thermokarst. My opponent has 1 remaining land. My best draw here, like Willow Blossoms, I guess. Opponent gets in there with the Mishra's Factory. Honest work. Somebody's gotta do it. I don't think I play around Wasteland here. I think I just take the turn off. We have enough time, I think. My opponent's clock is rather anemic. So I think we just chill, play around more discard spells. Okay, there's the Wasteland that I literally just talked about. On the plus side, that does take one mana from my opponent as well. So that's not a free Wasteland for them. We also have a land. Now we can smother. Alright, hold. What is happening? Ooh, baby. Oh, this is definitely happening. Smother your land. How are you supposed to smother a land? Is this breathing? How does that work? I want to see the flavor judge look into that one. Another Mox. Oh, my opponent's not gonna like what's about to happen right now. They are definitely not gonna enjoy that. Well, whoops. They flew too close to the sun. Notably, this is green-white instead of green-red, so that's something to keep in mind. No cards in hand for opponent. Do I want to allow them to find something like Oath? I think I want to pass the turn. So this is bad only if they draw specifically an LD spell. If they draw LD spell, this is very bad for me. But now what I get to do is I get to crack Pernicious Steed and then untap Ravenous Rats, get the card from their hand. We still have Cabal Therapy to flashback if we need to. Man, Pernicious Deed is just so unreal. What an amazing card. Oh, their card was Swords to Plowshares. So if they have Oath here, it's kind of annoying. But now at this point, even if they had Oath, it doesn't matter. This Deranged Hermit's probably going to kill them faster than they can recover. So upcoming turn, opponent's at 18. If I attack with everything, opponent blocks Hermit, they take 9. No, that's not a good attack. Oh, they're doing something. They're playing Library. Okay, it's interesting. Well, yeah, I'm swimming with everybody. I mean, they don't have Pyroclasm, right? They're just playing white, so at this point, there's nothing they can draw now. I don't think my opponent could hold on to Library there. I don't think they have the time. No, I swing with everybody. Oh, they shuffle too? Yeah, that's just game now. They can't block with both. They only block one of them. Just ending the game on their own terms by swinging for 3. Okay, so similar to how we sideboarded previously. I think I won the Tranquil Domains. I feel like enchantments are pretty much the only way that we lose. On the draw, I want to cut some Duress and some Rats, I guess. Current Nightmare. And I guess Hermit is better than Baloth against the white version. So let's go with this. What is this? This is an okay hand. Real hands. The Spine variance here is actually... I'm still going to keep. And I think I'm going to use my Trade of Village as a way to bait out the Wasteland. I care more about the black source than the land destruction. Fetch for white. They're going to tutor. I guess I was very punished by my line. They're going to tutor for Sphere here? Because if it does, anything else that they get for Mox Diamond. Whoa, that I was not expecting. They're going to card disadvantage into more card disadvantage. I wonder how they're going to keep up. Okay, well, successfully baited out the Wasteland. Feeling like a champ. I don't think that was a good Enlightened Tutor. I don't think that achieved really anything, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna do rest here. It's not great, but it's probably the best spot that I get. Exalted Angel. Definitely a card. That's most definitely a card. Wasteland was the top deck. Brutal. Okay, here's a Black Source. Please don't find more land destruction. Rashad and Port. Okay, Port is not awful. But they're going for it. They're going for it. There's the morph. So awkwardly, I don't think I can take this. So I don't think I can afford for my opponent to flip this angel. So I'm gonna have to let that go. I'm gonna smother here. Very awkward spot, but it is what it is. Let's see what's going on here. Suspect my opponent's gonna upkeep Port, and then we get to, I guess, Tranquil Domain. Kind of awkward to use the Tranquil Domain with a deed already in hand, but I think it's tricky. Like, I think I'm really bottlenecked on mana, so it's not even clear that I'm ever gonna be able to activate to resolve this pernicious deed. They swing for 2. Land, tap my swamp. Land is good. Wall of Blossoms. Nice, very nice. Okay, so we're slowly crawling back in there. Please don't top deck an Oath of Druids. Please. Sylvan Library. It's not that much better, to be honest with you. I imagine they're going to port me on my green source, which at least allows me to play Withered Wretch. And this Withered Wretch is actually doing something here. So now if my opponent oaths, I just start eating the graveyards. But they have a library, so they can find like the plow into oath or nasty stuff. So we'll see what happens. Considering the current scenario, opponent should probably pay at least 4 life. They don't. They found LD, found the Terravore. That we can just kill. So we're probably gonna do just that. I think I can even afford to take some hits. Kill it by retching. Eat a land. Any land is fine. Actually, no, it does matter which land I eat, because I want to be always eating the lands that are closer to the top, in case I draw the other card, the Phyrexian Furnace. So do I chomp with the Wall of Blossoms is the question. That is better in case my opponent draws Oath. So that's actually a reason. Thermokar's my green source. It's not great. Interesting. So I can block, or I can take 5. I think they don't have an Oath on top, because otherwise, because that was like a good spot to land an Oath. But now my mana is very like limited. So this means I take 3, turn this into a 5/5, then turn it into 3/3. That sounds too slow for me. I think I'm gonna have to smother. Basic Forest would be a good draw. Allows me to drop the Pernicious Deed. Cabal Therapy, definitely not a good draw. Can confirm that one. Skeletal Scrying, notably a fantastic card against this deck. But yeah, the issue with like slowly eating the graveyard is that it gets pretty awkward if my opponent finds like an answer to the Wretch. Another land goes down. It's not looking great, folks. It's not looking great. We're gonna need to start drawing some gasoline quickly-ish. So we're gonna start eating, I guess, my own graveyard. Once again, I may draw Correction Furnace. Okay, it's a fine draw. Basic lands are my best possible draw here. This is actually one of the awkward spots in when what my opponent should be doing is actually putting a stop at the end of combat. So after I have declared that I'm not going to attack with the Withered Wretch, so they don't need to block with Factory, they should put a stop there and they should actually tap my Swamp. I mean, that's the strictly correct place for them to tap my Swamp there. If you cared about about learning about that. There's the Oath. And now we are in quite the awkward spot where we're basically racing to find as many land drops as humanly possible here. And we're hoping that my opponent just flip the less amount of lands possible. It's a treetop. So we'll take that one. Can't attack, so we'll send back. So right now it's only a 3/3 Vor, but they have gone through only one Terravor. And if they ever flick Exalted Angel, I'm in the world of hurt. They're also going to be looking and rearranging top of the deck every turn, which is not exciting for me. This is when the Oath deck starts to pull ahead. At this point, my opponent should definitely be paying as much life as they can with Sylvan Library. Why are they doing this? Yeah, block with Wall of Blossoms. Yeah, I'm confused by that line a little bit. Maybe they're like baiting me into making the mistake, like trading to not trigger Oath. But like the only thing that's keeping me remotely close to alive is this Withered Wretch. I need to hope that they don't flip anything here. Okay, we got lucky. They didn't grow the Terravor any further. If they have any other LD, I think that's gonna be too much. Yep, I feel like that's gonna be too much. Because at this point, I don't know. I don't think I have time. Oh, I don't think I can get there quickly enough. Let's block here. This means we take 6 down to 11. I guess I can need one more land, so let's do that. I guess I'm hoping to flip. I don't even know. Even something like Graveborn Muse just doesn't do it. I just need lands. But I guess Deranged Hermit and just like block. Oh, but they have one more Terravor though. So here we're gonna put the lands first for Furnace, but I don't think it's gonna matter. Need to be tapped. Yeah, okay, let's go to game 3. Man, I feel like there were like a couple of turns where if I had been able to find any land, would have been able to be okay, but it was not. It's not meant to be. So let's cut. I think I want to cut the rats and bring in more of the rest. Even though I lost that game with a bunch of like discard spells in my hand, but okay, this is a hand I guess. Not like super stoked about this hand, but it's okay hand I guess. I like that it punishes my opponent for having Mox. I'm gonna lean on swamps because we have more swamps. Roll to 5. Okay. The question now is, do I play around Oath? I think I do. Library. Not super stoked about that, but that's a very good draw. Amazing top deck. Treetop gets in there, huh? I think I want to dig here actually. I'm gonna exile both cards, and since this is the best my opponent can do here, I'm going to untap and play Graveborn Muse. Try to pull ahead a little bit. Yeah, I think this is the turn. I play the Muse, especially with my opponent having no white sources. It's bad if they have Oath of Druids, but I'm hoping that I can like outdraw it. They have the white source and the plow. Okay. I don't think that was like a good spot to do that. I don't think it's super likely they have a ton of action in hand. Take 3 from treetop. Let's do rest. Double Sphere. Okay. And Naturalize. Send the turn back. Terravor, not super good right now. This Sphere also not particularly great. So now we kind of just chill. Hang out here for a little bit. I should play out the Terravor. They know that I have Cabal Therapy and Rats. There's gonna be like a just 1/1 Terravor, but it's a good one. Let's see what we draw before I make a decision. Last card in hand is a Terravor. Yeah, I think we just naturalize the Oath. Send the turn back. I could try to play an Oath game, but that's never working out for me. Let's be realistic here. That is not happening. My opponent's deck is much better suited to play an Oath game than I am. Enlightening Tutor for another Oath. Okay, that sucks for me. Gonna need to find another removal spell for this Oath of Druids. At this point, my opponent should be saving the Wasteland for a nice draw. That's a super nice draw. Insanely nice draw. That's honestly kind of like an outrageous draw. That is a ridiculous backbreaking draw for my opponents. I wish I were smart enough to have been sandbagging that. It's definitely not what happened. I proudly, very proudly, just top deck the hell out of that. I mean, they have to flip. And it's at that point, it is correct for my opponent, I think, to wasteland my Llanowar Waste. Oh my god, they flipped Exalted Angel. Oh, I'm so dead. I'm totally dead. Do we even have answers to this? Am I just like straight up dead? I think I may be straight up dead here. Wow, this game has had some swings, let me tell you that much. Let's eat some lands. I think at this point it's better to eat. At this point it doesn't matter which graveyard I eat. If I had Skeletal Scrying, would be different, but holy moly. They've already cursed Totem just for Withered Wretch. That's funny. Yeah, I'm like super screwed here. Is there anything I can do even? Do I just let my opponent flip? I think I just let my opponent flip when I try to race, because I'd rather save this Tranquil Domain for Sylvan Library. I don't know how the hell I'm racing this Exalted Angel to Shadow Port. Does that really do anything? Not sure. I'm paying some mana over there. Wow. So now I start eating some lands and actually kill both of these Terravores, which is very nice. And we can start to use this Oath aggressively. The awkward thing is that we need to, if we want to draw a card off this Oath, we need to have the trigger happen first, which is a little bit awkward because it may put me in a spot where I cannot actually kill the Terravores. But I do think that I need to flip something good. I don't know what something good is, but I need to find it. That is definitely something good. Wow, the swings in this game. I also didn't flip any lands, so now we kill the Boars, and we may actually be able to raise here. Is this happening? Wait, is this? No, never mind. I was not looking correctly. So now the Boars die. The Wretch comes in. Opponent only 14 cards left. I mean, this is what needed to happen. I cannot take any extra point of damage. I need to raise this Exalted Angel. There's also this stupid Sphere of Resistance in play, which does make matters much more awkward. I think I cannot actually pay for this Deranged Hermit. Oh man, this is crazy. Yeah, they just choose not to trigger. They just have the one angel. Just do nothing. So I guess I have to pay for Echo. We're gonna float our mana. Pay for Echo. Bruh. Really? I just top decked Edict? Oh my god, this game. What the hell's going on? Oh my god. Let's see if I can dodge my opponent drawing another. No! No, I cannot cast both Edict and Smothering the same turn. Oh my god, this game is insane. So I'm swinging for 11. Oh my god. Is that the only card that saves them? Sounds to me like the only card that would save my opponent there. Dude, I can't believe we get Premodern leagues now. This is unreal. My opponent can make my opponent. Oh my god. Dude. And now we get to Edict. Oh my god, this game. Oh my god, this game. I can't even. What is this game? What the hell? I think my opponent's last card in hand is another Terravore for whatever. Oh, never mind. There's two spheres. Duh. Man, this is unreal. This game is ridiculous. Opponent does not trigger Oath Factory. Alright. We do have the answer to this, so I guess I might as well eat some stuff. I guess I'm gonna eat my own stuff. At this point, is it actually better to eat my own stuff if I draw a Furnace? One imports me. Wall of Blossoms. I guess we swing with all the 2/2s and we smother the Treetop Village when it tries to block. They can activate the factory, but I'm fine trading Wretch for factory at this point. I think the Wretch did its job. Might as well eat that right now. What an absolutely wild game. Oh, they do have a Terravore. They were just afraid that I was just gonna kill it. Now they have one card left in deck, so they're just gonna lose on their next turn. 5 mana, another Terravore. Okay, we just kill both Terravores and we just swing in for lethal. Wow. What a match. What a match. Shout out to Withered Wretch. This little guy kind of soloed this game. That top deck Wretch, man. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Amazing. There we go. 2-2. See you for the very last round. For our last match, we're playing against the one and only Will Hurst. I do like Deed, but I don't like that we don't have any discard spell. Will loves Stasis. If I were a betting man, I would bet that he's on stasis. But I think I'm gonna mulligan this hand. This hand's much better. I'm gonna bottom the basic forest. We get to do rest on 1. Oh, it was baited. Alright, so I guess I take the pillar, send back. Notably, my first hand, I guess would have been, it had Willow Blossoms, and Willow Blossoms is very good against Sligh. He fetches first, goes for pop. So we do have to rat here. Probably gonna discard the Fire Blast, Seal of Fire. So we need to draw something. Mog Fanatic is gonna ping the rat, which is a good exchange for us, but I mean, they're still swinging with this pop, so still not particularly great. Lavamancer would love to draw Pernicious Deed. Okay, so we're just gonna Therapy name Fire Blast here while he cannot cast it. And Bolt is his last card. Ugh, awkward. I mean, still better for it to be Bolt than Fire Blast, so take 2. That's a fine draw. It's a mighty fine draw. Yes, yes, a million times yes. Gonna pop now after the Lava Man activates. Sure, he can draw another 1-drop, but then that means that the pop gets to connect once again. The Lava Man, sorry, gets to activate once again, which I'm not stoked about. Draws a land, and I am gonna serve with Treetop if he wants to. Oh, that's nice. I get to Furnace here, play around this Barbarian Ring. So he needs to activate the Barbarian Ring right now, and he needs to bolt my face right here, because he's at 6 cards. So we're gonna do that, play land, and I'm definitely swinging here. He wants to bolt my Treetop. Seems like a fine exchange for me. The turn, he doesn't bolt. Very interesting. Okay, I don't think I need to cycle yet. Punished. Very punished. I do think I play out the Hermit. I think I'm gonna be able to eat a couple of activations of this Lavamancer. Don't think I'm paying for Hermit, however. I think I'd rather go with this first. They drew a land, by the way. And now I guess I can force the action. The Cabal Therapy. Bolt me. Obviously name Abandon Hope. Ah, let's name Primeval Titan. Oh, you can only name cards that are legal? Brutal. I guess Abandon Hope it is. And now we serve. And after they activate Lavamancer, I am going to cycle to deny them a second activation. Because I'm not going to be able to deny any further activations, I don't think. I want to make sure that I get to draw. Willow Blossoms, sure. It's a nice one. But I don't think I'm going to get to call it because I'm threatening lethal this turn. So unless I find the green source, I don't think I can actually cast the Blossoms there. Alright, we got there. What do we want? Call of the Herd. Thank you very much. Probably Smother over Vendetta. Don't want Vendetta. Wither Reg is an interesting one. The BB cost really sucks. I like the effect. I think like it's a fine effect. I feel like if this were 1 and a B, I would cut it. Muses are coming out for sure. If these are 1 and a B, I would probably bring it in. But since they're BB, I'm not super stoked about it. I think all my other cards are better. And same reasoning with BB for Hypnotic Spectre. I think all my other cards are... I did see the pillar. So that makes me want to naturalize a little bit more. So let's bring in Naturalize over a Deed and the Yavimaya Elder. Elder, maybe Elder is fine. I am on the draw though, so I think I'm just gonna do this. Maybe on the play. I have a Call of the Herd. Call of the Herd's better than Elder. Okay, seems like an okay hand here. They have a bunch of creatures, it's gonna be problematic, but Lavamancer. Okay, Lavamancer is less bad than Jackal Pup here for me. So let's lead on the rest. Vortex, Fire Blast. Definitely taking Fire Blast here. We already have the Naturalize for the Vortex. I may even want to Therapy here. That's an interesting one. I don't really want to take damage from the Vortex. So do I want to spend this turn to Rat? No, I think I want to cash in the Cabal Therapy actually. And take this turn to play the Treetop Village. Do another land. Will's kind of flooded here. Next turn we Rat. With a Mountain. Attacking. I guess he doesn't want to activate Lava Man until he gets to cash in the rings because he's got 2 of them. So here we Rat, and Rat is just so good against them. And then next turn we're gonna get to Baloth, and even if he has second Vortex, we have that covered with Naturalize. So I think we're in good shape here. It's a pretty fine draw, not gonna lie. Let's serve with our little 1/1, and here's a Baloth of the Ravenous variety. It's looking pretty good for us. This game is looking pretty good for us. So ship has sailed on Barbarian Ring, which is great. This Barbarian Ring in his dead is now in his hand is officially It's dead. Vortex, that's fine. We have it covered with Naturalize. So I'd rather hold on to the 4/4 here. Pine Barrens. So at this point, we're kind of just playing around. Oh, I misclicked. I meant to attack with Treetop. But at this point, we're kind of just playing around Rise of Progress. That's how I can like randomly die out of nowhere. So I'm not gonna play out these Pine Barrens. We got an Incinerate. Pretty nice. We're gonna get another Shock off of this Sulfuric Vortex, which is nice. 1 and down to 9. And we have conveniently 9 power to play, which is cool. It's very cool. End step, Naturalize. This is probably gonna prompt the concession. Or not. Okay, that's fine. Do we percent lethal or do we play a second Bailoff? I think it actually doesn't matter, so I'm just gonna go for second Bailoff. It feels like both plays lock up the game. Yep. Alright, cool. That was fun. I enjoyed that a lot. And just like that, we once again proved that the Rock is the Rock with a 3-2 record. The deck continues to be very promising. I do feel like, I mean, let's be honest, Fed on Dreadnought got unreasonably lucky against me. Especially when it was like he was missing Island and Dreadnought in order to combo me on 2, and that's exactly what he drew off a single opt where he bottomed. I mean, that's pretty lucky. But anyway, I do think that I do like this archetype quite a bit. I'm thinking if we want just more muses, like this card is just insane. Like I kind of want to draw it every single game. And the other thing is Recurring Nightmare. Like this card is great when it gets going. Didn't really draw it in any of the games here, by the way, of course, but it's kind of doing the same thing as Graveyard Muse. I do wonder if this is just better. The other avenue would be to just cut Bailots instead and just have like 3 Muse, 3 Bailots, maybe play the Bailots in the sideboard so we can make the swap when we play against Sligh or something like that. But I do feel like in terms of the shell itself, the mana is bad, right? So I do think that maybe something needs to be done in terms of the mana. Maybe we can play Elder is like amazing, but maybe the threat, like the top end, can be something different. I don't know if we need to play like Frozen Tusker or something like that. Maybe a single Deranged Hermit and like play Tuskers instead to smooth the mana. I honestly don't know. I do like Pine Barrens a lot though. I do think that this card is just legit. I think this card actually gets the job done, and to the point where it gets me excited about trying out like Dead Guy Ale with the same concept. So just like basically like a very small like white splash for obviously cards like Source of Plowshares, Vindicate, and then like maybe 2 Exalted Angels as the top end, but just using the same shell, just using, you know, like Hypnotic Specters, Ravenous Rats, Graveworm Muse, and see what happens. I don't know if this is better than just going mono black, but yeah, I mean, these are all things that now we get to try because we can play as much as we want for 1 week. For 1 week, not for much more than that. They're saying that they want to try it out for 1 week, see how it goes, and then potentially bring it back down the line. And they did mention that it's possible for this to become like a permanent feature of MTGO. So if that were the case, I would be incredibly excited, because obviously, like, as much as I love the CPL leagues, they can like sometimes not work out for me. Like for example, like I have like a very tough week at work or something like that, and then I only get to play like 2 days for my matches, and then I don't find my matches in time. Like this is what happened this past week. I only was able to play 2 matches on like the day before the league stopped, but that's not gonna be the case. Like these leagues, if they go like as much as they want, then I can just play those matches whenever I can. So I will be able to make content, even though I have much less time now than I had in the past. I can actually make content more consistently, which I'm very excited about, because I can basically record literally whenever I can. It's very exciting for me because I'm gonna have so many things that I want to try out. I'm very excited to see where this goes. But that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and welcome to the new world, folks. I will see you in the next video. Take care, and long live Premodern. Bye bye.